We're dealing with a lot of methamphetamine.
How would you describe your life?
Chaos.
Ah.
Yeah. My head felt like it was getting cooked, and he's just full of rage and full of, you're on fire.
Once they get to that rawness core of who they are and what's happened, then you start to install health and well-being.
Tēnā rā koutou katoa, nau mai huri mai ki, ka huri te tai.
Where we look at the effects of methamphetamine on the whānau.
Watching services come through, I wish that I had that.
This is the first time I've actually been able to have control of my life.
I need to do something. I can't just let my nephews and nieces suffer, you know.
A kia ora rā koutou. Koutou hoki e huri mai ni ki tēnei wāhanga. Whakarongo mai, titiro mai. Great to be here, Nix.
Yes.
Tēnā koe, with our podcast.
Yeah, love it.
And our kaupapa around this ngārara called methamphetamine. But, more importantly, our manuhiri, Colleen. Tēnā koe, thanks for coming.
Tēnā kōrua.
Yeah, all the way from Motukraka. How beautiful. Now, I'm going to start because I was driving down south one day and there was this thing on radio talking about midwives, which I didn't know a lot about. And I realised in this corridor, this was a couple of years ago, how hard midwives work, how far they have to travel, the compromises they have to make to do such an important job. And I sort of had a different lens towards people like yourself and what you do, you know, especially in our rural areas, eh? Nō reira, e mihi ana kia koutou, e mahi ana e nā mahi e pāneki o mātou tamariki, eh? So, but yeah, so...
Just for those that are listening, he just whacked my leg. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, can we hear a little bit about you and what you're doing at the moment?
Oh, it's all about me.
It's all about you, gal.
It's all about us.
Kia ora koutou. Firstly, I'm a mother and a grandmother, and then I'm a midwife. Been working as a kaiwhakahaere hapu māma mō tāna whānau for about 21 years now.
Wow.
And based here in Taitokerau. So currently I'm working with Te Ao Marama Midwives i roto i te Hauara Hokianga.
Aye.
Prior to that, I was in Kaitaia for 13 years, working for Hapuora, with another lovely Māori midwife, Kiri Defa. But I'm at the end of the game. I'm transitioning out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was invited here today by Whaia Crete, who is a legend of Taitokerau. And we belong to a Māori midwifery collective here in Taitokerau called Te Kau Wahine. So hence I'm here representing Te Kau Wahine.
Tēnā koe.
And just working with wahine, their tāne, their whānau. I believe this kaupapa is around methamphetamine and how it affects us all, actually.
Yeah.
How does it affect what you see in your mahi?
The effect isn't on me. First and foremost, the effect is never on us as the practitioner. It's about the mama, the pipi, the kōpū, the whānau, the tāne.
What are you seeing?
What are we seeing? No change.
Right.
Absolutely no change. It's all about how you approach the whānau. And we do what we call a booking visit, and you do the whole screening thing because it's part of our kaupapa in terms of what does this whānau need. You're not always going to get a straight answer from a user. Or if you've got a user, you've got a tāne sitting next to them. So the whole thing starts to spiral from methamphetamine to what is actually happening in this whānau. There is other things going on. I don't even have to open my mouth. I can just read the body language. So very careful, very honest, very open, but tūturu to the kaupapa of looking after the mama and the pipi. Educating the tāne that, you know, he really needs to rake the fuck up.
Yeah, kia ora.
You know?
Kia ora.
He was part of this hikoi.
Yeah.
you know, and he needs to be a kaicheki for this mama and this peepee. So, yeah, we've never had rumbles, so to speak. We get ditty people, and they're either going to like you, or they're going to go and find another midwife that doesn't need to know that
Pandas,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying here, what I'm hearing is when you, and I don't know what you do, but a midwife has a set of responsibilities, right? But you as whānau Māori, your mahi seems to be a lot wider than your normal obligations as a midwife, eh?
Yep.
A lot
Yep.
wider. So there's a lot more pressure on you guys.
I don't feel it as pressure
Right.
because it is part of our kaupapa,
Right.
the manaakitanga, the kaitiaki of our whānau, being tika, you know, the whakapono within that sitting, so that they know that they are going to get the care. Because you're right, people walk in, even I do. I walk into the doctors and I've got someone that's non-Māori sitting there and I'm like, whew. It's like the blood pressure goes up. Same thing for when we're looking after our whānau. When whānau come in, it's like we could have a booking visit right here in this caravan because this is comfortable. You know, not having that sterile
Right.
look. You know, you got the plinth over there.
Yeah.
So with practitioners that are Māori, that is the feel you get from them.
Yeah.
But you also get the services that you so deserve.
Right.
The screenings, giving them the options, talking about what tests need to be done, and being quite open and honest with them that anything that we offer them, they've got the right to refuse. But kei te pai, down the track, if there's something going on for you,
Yeah.
rethink. We do need to get some answers, But when we're looking at methamphetamine users, there is no screening in terms of blood tests, mimi tests that a midwife can order. So we don't know that stuff.
Oh.
So we're running blind. But we know just purely by looking,
Yeah.
the kōrero,
Experience
Do you ever
and the
bring it up?
community.
and the
Oh,
community.
So you bring it up to the mum, like, hey, you know.
When's the last time you touched that shit, girl?
Yeah.
You know, that's how you got to talk to them.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. It's
You
about
know?
relationships.
Yeah,
it's
it's about
about
relationships.
and speaking their language or
Yeah.
our language.
Yeah.
And being straight up to
Yeah.
And they're quite fire. I had one, and I says, well, you know the kaupapa, this is not only about you,
Yeah.
it's that peepee that you're carrying.
Yeah.
But it's like anything that we screen for, whatever you're going to put into your body, ingest into your body, is harmful to that peepee. So whether it's a cigarette, whether it's too much sugar,
Right.
you know,
Alcohol.
alcohol. In my world today, like about 12, 15 years ago, I was really hard on marijuana.
Right.
I'd rather them see
Yeah.
them smoke marijuana now than have methamphetamine.
Yeah.
You know, it's about the comfort of where they sit in their social life
Yeah.
with their whānau.
What
Because it's too heavy out there.
Yeah. What about the babies that are being born?
The babies are being born. If you've got a user in pregnancy and they're right through, again, it's just monitoring them like you're monitoring the mum for addiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have the high-pitched cries. We've got these scoring sheets that are needed, you know. And if you've got a real tūturu mother, you've got a mother that will stay in the hohipiri and she will see that through.
Yeah.
If she don't want anybody to know her business, she's out the door and gone with her peepee. But that makes her now high-risk, vulnerable family. So you go from baskets, pockets, you know, and unless you really want to give up that lifestyle,
Yeah.
you're always going to be in someone's pocket.
Yeah.
What's the effect, you know, of meth on our babies? You know, what can it be?
There's actually no research.
Oh, wow.
There's no research to show you that. But what we are finding
Yep.
is down the track, not in the first 6 to 12 months, we all talk about the safe sleep.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about having methamphetamine, that can be what we call a trigger or something to look for in terms of a safe sleeping peepee. So that's another one of our screening things. How well do our babies sleep? Do
Yeah.
they have their own safe sleep space? What is the kaupapa with you and your safe sleeping? Are you co-sleeping with your baby? and educate them not to. We provide waikawas, wahakuras, and that's because of some of the outcomes that have come from our sudi babies dying,
Right.
and they have been through a mama or a papa that has co-slept with their pepe. So these are some of the things that are coming through.
And what,
And the
coming
rats-
down and deep sleeping and
Yeah,
Rolling on their
rolling on their
rolling
babies.
on their babies, yeah.
Rolling on their babies, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, are there enough of you guys in the north? Midwives?
Is there enough of us in Aotearoa?
And,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the whole
Okay.
country.
Okay. Obviously not.
No.
Yeah.
Hen's teeth.
Wow. Yeah.
What other symptoms? So you were saying the high pitch crying.
Yeah, that's
A real obvious one.
a real obvious one. If you continue to do it, you can't breastfeed. Because if you think about it, it goes into your
straight
body,
into the milk.
straight into the milk, goes straight into the PP. So there's a few challenges out there for our mamas that choose to use.
What are the effects of, say, a mum, she's had a pipe and it's gone into the breast milk, she's breastfed her baby. What are those babies displaying?
That high-pitched cry. Because it's like a fiending, they need more.
Oh,
Oh,
They need more. It's
So
like
it's
it's like a diabetic.
it's an
This
addictive
is a
behaviour.
normalised but complicated situation in a pregnancy, being a diabetic, and you're a diabetic. So we look at the same things when the PP is born. It's like that PP is addicted to the sugar that the mother has taken on board. So we have to actually have special care for our babies in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
If you're from a diabetic mother, and that's purely to make sure that their sugar levels are being normal. You know, you have a baby that the sugar drops or it's too high,
Yeah.
yeah, you're in trouble.
So you've got some level of control with sugar and stuff. Do you have any level of control with a baby that's come from a mother using?
Only unless they've engaged in a treatment process where some mums will go on the methadone. But even if you're a methadone user, because you're trying to come off,
Yeah.
you can still not breastfeed your baby.
Right. Right.
Because again, it goes through the system.
yeah.
Wow, what a challenge. What a challenge. We've been speaking to lots of people with regard to meth, and the story's not good at all. It's an understatement.
tell me a good story.
Yeah. And you know, what do we do? What do we do? Is it continued education? Is it? I mean, it's because it's multi-layered. It's poverty. It's a lack of self. It's all sorts of things.
I don't like the word poverty.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe that anybody should be living in the world of poverty.
Yeah.
We've got whenua out there.
Yeah.
You know, that is not poverty.
Yeah.
You know, you should be able to grow your own kai.
Yeah.
That is not poverty. Nobody should be going without. People seem to blame colonisation. I think, yeah, okay, nearly 200 years later and we're still blaming colonisation. What's our people thinking? You know, good on us for going through and still challenging them on saying, hoi, bring our whenua back.
Yeah.
Give it back to us, because that's why we have all this stuff going
Yeah.
on. But when you've got people challenging colonisation because they can't afford a house, they can't afford a car, nah, that's not part of it at all.
My
Our whānau
thing.
need to look at themselves, look at their tūpuna. How was it back then for them? They had 18 to 20 kids.
Yeah.
Did you see any struggles with them? No, but you had hard upbringing. You knew exactly what your roles were within the whānau. You were always at the marae. You know, there was always something going on for the whānau. We've got too much technology out there today. It's the ruination of all our tamariki.
Yeah.
Pepe even. You know, right from the minute they're born, it's in their face.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
There goes
bad.
their wairoa, gone.
Yeah. When I talk about poverty, I talk about a poverty of spirit. To actually, because you're right, I agree with you. You know, my old man who was born in 1913 and adopted us, mate, our whole backyard was garden. You know, fruit trees, go to church, all those old things, eh? So I've never had a poverty of spirit because of the role models that I've had, eh? But you're right around the hooks, that are there to take our young ones. I prefer being brought up in the 50s, 60s, 70s than having to grow up now, you know, with these challenges that our kids have. But yeah.
Yeah. And that's a big part of our world today, is technology, the digital world.
Yeah.
Everything
But
is too
that's how
accessible.
come we have to monitor and guide them, because that is actually where we're heading. It is going to be more technology. There's more stuff coming out, and that's why we have to really take notice and then guide our children through this. And it's hard because we're learning too.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
wasn't around
an
like
addiction.
It is an
It's
addiction.
an addiction.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's like our baby, 3 years old. She's got nothing. And I'm on it 24/7. That's my business. That's my everything. My baby, hell no.
Yeah.
My teenagers, oh my God, I've lost the battle there.
Yeah.
But even learning how to discipline, back then and now it's like, give me that phone. Like, what else can we really do but take their devices? Oh God, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah.
But I've got some good stories about mamas that have been using
Yeah.
good outcomes because they've had supportive tāneas. And
Were the tāne using as well? Oh, wow.
both users, yeah. But also looking at themselves 5 kids down the track. Holy shit, we're still doing the same thing we did 5 years ago.
Right.
You know, all the lights just come on.
Yeah.
So we do have some good outcomes. We've lost Pepe to methamphetamine through domestic violence, you know. Yeah, it's a hard road to take.
What are some of the good stories?
Some of the good stories are our whānau coming out
Oh, right. Yeah.
and stopping it, taking a pause, looking at their lives back and thinking, we can offer our kids a better life.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And with that, their whānau comes back. Because you lose whānau.
Yeah.
You lose whānau.
Lose everything.
You lose
You
everything.
know, from the corridor I've been hearing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's good.
yeah, it's
We're
Yeah.
not always their friends, you know,
Yeah.
because we're so upfront and honest with them about the risks, the evaluations of what can happen in a pregnancy with anything, you know, methamphetamine being the biggest ball at the game at the moment. But it's either that I said they're either going to like us or they're going to leave us. And that's the stuff that I don't like, is the undercover, you know, they want to fly under the radar.
yeah.
But we've got a really good network. It's just pick up the phone and say, hey, buddy, someone might be coming your way. Obviously, they don't like us, but they need some help.
Yeah. This sounds so naive. Our kids having kids. You know, are our kids having discussions about having families? See, I've got one of my whānau who has told me that he won't be having children. Okay, that's this whānau member's decision, because he doesn't like the world that this child is coming into. And we debated and all the rest, but he's having a discussion around it, hey? But so many of our young people, they don't have any discussions around bringing up a family. Or am I right? Am I naive?
No, I think that's about the change of how the world is, actually.
Yeah.
You know, the kōrero is not being given. They're rooting before the kōrero,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
You know, I was a kid having a kid.
Yeah.
16
Same.
years old.
I was a product of that.
So, and I didn't have the kōrero, but I got a hiding for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, it's like they're offering contraception, don't even need the parental consent at 12 years old.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, you
Is
need.
there a kōrero going on?
You know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's funny how you see different whānau and kōrero around children having children. You've got children that don't ever want to have children because they've seen what's going on
Kia ora.
in their whānau's lives.
Kia ora.
It's like, I never want to be a parent because,
Yeah.
you know,
This shit don't look good.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I was that 5th child and I missed out on,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, that sort of stuff. Whereas, you know, when you go back, like I say, when you go back to the tupuna lifestyle, 18 to 20 children,
Yeah.
Not a problem. Those kids were all well dressed and they all had shoes.
Yeah. And they weren't eating
Today
shit.
they want to know, what kind of shoes are you giving me?
Yeah. Because I've seen these shoes over here, you know, because even us growing up in the 60s and 70s, we didn't know that world out there. We didn't realise we weren't that well off, you know, but we were wealthy in our aroha
Yes.
and our lifestyle. You know, we still joke about it. Oh, I wonder what's for tea, bro. We'd be coming back from league practice. I think Mum's got a mutton flaps. One pot with cabbage and riwa. Oh, goodness. And just joking about the basic K. But, man, we had K all the time,
Yeah.
you know, and we had love all the time. Yeah, it's
And finding the right partner too. Like
good point.
the exposure to a lot of whānaus around domestic violence is huge. It is huge. You know, you don't see it out there openly,
Yeah.
but we deal with it. And we deal with a lot of domestic violence.
Yeah.
So when you've got children coming from that kind of lifestyle, environment, you know, you see their whole demeanour around that love when they're with other families that are being loved.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's a brand new world that they've stepped into.
Yeah.
And it's like, can people be loved like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've never seen this
And,
before.
and it's, yeah.
Yeah. And
So what you look at and what you feel, like for me, bringing up my children, because I got a hiding all the time, you know, not having a clean kitchen before I went to school. that type.
yeah.
But I tell you what, the values from that made me the better person that I am today.
Yeah.
You know, with my children, I swore I'm never going to smack them.
Yeah.
I didn't smack them, you know. And now that I've got mokopuna, my kids say to me, how the hell did you do
not
it
smack-
with
Yeah,
not
yeah.
smacking us?
Yeah.
But different generations, there's been shifts
Yeah.
in what happens in each generation.
Yeah.
And now, currently, I've got my two mokos at home, one I brought back from Australia, and boy, do I want to give them a crack.
Yeah. See,
But yeah.
we were never hit. Never hit. And my father came from a time when the slap ruled, you know. And I asked him about it, and he said, and these were kaumātua. They were tough men, cutting tea tree in the back of bloody whangape. And he says, boy, if I hit you, your split lip will fix in a week, but your heart will take 10 years to fix. If it, you know, because they had a wisdom,
Yeah.
And so why did I not let my parents down? It was because of the mana they had, you know, and those sorts of things. And we're losing that sort of leadership within our families. How is that relevant to you and the conversation we're having? I think it's perfectly relevant because I'm interested in the whakapapa of family violence. When did this start?
Yeah.
Because way back Maridano, te ao kōhatu, slapping your missus wasn't a thing you did.
Yeah.
It's not actually Māori behaviour. It's bad behaviour.
It's a learned behaviour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when our Pākehā whānau arrived here, women were chattels, They were property. And if you were Pākehā and you did the horizontal haka with your wife and she didn't want it, they could never have you up for rape or anything. So, you know, they were different structures. A lot of people don't know about.
Yeah. And that's so changed.
Yeah. Hey, look, ko mutu te wā, we've run out of time. Engari, e mihi ana ki a koe, e mahi ana e nei mahi taimaha. Just a huge thank you for what you do and coming out today and reconnecting because I'm your cousin from your whatever. Who cares? We're all from that north side of Hokianga. So ngā mihi ka koe and thank you for what you do for our whānau.
Kia ora.
Tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia ora.
I just got a couple.
Yeah.
Colleen, I'll get them to ask you, but I was just thinking, like, when you say you do an assessment, like you ask the kōrero when you're first meeting someone, what are those things that you would indicate to you, clearly indicate that there might be meth in the house or they're a user? Is there anything like, you know, you go through your things of your standard kōrero for each mama?
Cut the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's their tick boxes, those questions.
Yeah.
And that's how they pick up their stats, I suppose, in terms of information being shifted from us to them. But for me, picking up what is going on with their life, one is admission to methamphetamine.
Yeah. The straight question.
The straight question,
Yeah.
yes or no. Two is the obvious body language
Yeah.
that's going on, and is this mama safe enough for me to keep going on with the kōrero with the tāne in the room?
Right.
So making it, oh, you need to go to the toilet, have mummy, let's go, I'll show you, and then have that kōrero on the way.
Right.
So then I'm picking up answers there. Sometimes the tāne just gives us a straight answer, oh yeah, fire. But we're looking at trying to get
Yeah,
rehab,
yeah.
you know, so...
That must
Yeah.
give you a bit of heart. Okay, let's
absolutely.
keep moving
Yeah.
forward. But it's emotional intelligence on your part to read
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah.
And especially, this could get me into trouble, especially our wahine have that intuitive thinking, because the ahu of the person can lie, but the vibe,
Yeah, yeah.
I just said vibe, that's such a loose term. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And after all the years that you've been in that space, you know, those are skills.
Well, they might say no to you that first time, but we're required to do screening at least 3 times in the pregnancy.
Right.
And you've got that thing in your heart thinking, nah, she's bullshitting me. Keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
But,
She's
you know,
bullshitting a bullshit.
and then she'll come back and she'll go, oh, fire, yeah, I am using.
Yeah.
You know. I said, Kei te pai.
Yeah.
We just need to know this because in the event something happens at the birth and our baby comes out and it's not doing the normal things,
Yeah.
we've got an idea on how to treat your
Yeah,
PP.
that's right.
Yeah.
But the neat thing is, it's just what you said. Kei te pai. At least we've got the information. So this is a team effort to move forward and get the best outcome,
Yeah.
I love that.
It's
No
all about the
judgment.
outcome. Yeah.
No judgment.